Welcome to another Space Station 13 video. I am going to try to describe to you what Space Station 13 is. This is not going to be an easy task because the game is all-encompassing. But this video is going to be perfect for new players, people interested in the game, or to show your friends to hopefully get them interested in this amazing game. Space Station 13 is a multiplayer role-playing game with elements of survival games, simulation, and sandbox.
This is going to sound weird coming from me. Someone should make a sequel to Skyrim.
The game takes place over the course of a round, also known as a shift, where you have to survive until the end and escape the space station. Rounds can last anywhere from 40 minutes all the way up to 2 hours on average, but really they can go indefinitely if things are going well. But usually, people like to play for an hour on average. This is a living, breathing, simulated space station with numerous departments and over 30 very detailed jobs. The game has very deep roles where every job has its own mechanics, equipment, and things that you could do to help or harm the station. These aren't just jobs with little mini games to keep you busy. These are fully fleshed out roles with full Wikipedia pages dedicated to all the stuff that you can do as that particular job. In my honest opinion, you could spend months playing a single job and being fascinated day after day with all the new things that you could do and figure out how to do for whatever job that you picked. Besides survival, sometimes you have additional objectives and things to steer your job, but the main goal is survival and making it off the station if an emergency occurs, when it occurs. The game is a sandbox because within these walls of the space station, you truly have player agency to go anywhere and do anything, including breaking into other departments and trespassing, as well as anything else you can imagine. Want to break into the office room with the fax machine and scan your ass cheeks and fax them to every department? You can totally do that in this game. Every round has antagonistic roles that are picked randomly that help steer the station into disarray. These antagonists can be anything from traitors with specialized gear that can order amazing things from the Syndicate. This is anything from bombs that you can implant into yourself, to specialized viruses, guns, explosives, energy swords like lightsabers, and way more stuff than I can even mention here. You have space vampires, even space wizards with amazing magical capabilities, even alien abductors that capture people and bring them to their spaceship and perform weird alien surgeries on them. There's even alien creature antagonists like xenomorphs, or changelings, and even the Blob, all from popular Hollywood movies. This game truly is a mix of every sci-fi genre. There are a lot more antagonist roles, and if I mention all of them, this video may very well be an hour long, but my favorite is the Space Ninja. Playing antagonist is very interesting and fun even if you are a veteran of the game, because you could play the game for years and never roll an antagonist that you want to play as. For example, I still have never played the Wizard on TG Station. And then when you finally get to play some of these antagonist roles, you're completely new and fumbling all the buttons and your objectives and how to use their powers and abilities. You're scrambling to read the wiki page while you're playing to see what kind of tips and tricks it offers, and you will usually die in a horribly gone wrong failure. But that is the fun of Space Station 13. Failure, learning new jobs, and failing horribly at them. Some of the biggest laughs you have are when you mess up and it causes complete and utter destruction. Maybe you're learning chemistry and you just blow up the entire laboratory. Or maybe you're working on the engine as an engineer and you release a singularity or blow up the supermatter crystal. These things will happen, and when they do, all you can do is laugh. Role players love this game for how immersive every job is, and the detail of the station, and people who enjoy very deep game mechanics and learning new systems also love this game, and I highly recommend you try it if you are in these two categories. You have jobs from the captain all the way down to the lowly janitor, in between everything from engineers that keep the station powered and repaired, to scientists that research new experiments ranging from testing on slimes in xenobiology, building ordnance bombs, testing different structures and items, breaking down syndicate items, and a variety of other experiments. You have roboticists that build robots that help or harm the station if the station goes into malfunctioning AI antagonistic role. You have doctors and surgeons and coroners to help keep people alive, and every job has a valuable symbiotic purpose on the station. Besides the station that is extremely massive with lots of corridors and hidden maintenance tunnels, there is off-station exploration in terms of where the miners go mining on Lava Land, or off-station into space to see what you can find in the vastness of space. This could be anything from derelict space stations, pirate ships, aliens, asteroids, and things that you couldn't even imagine. I found an abandoned mega hydroponic super laboratory in space and brought back all the amazing seeds to the botany department. Space Station 13 is a platform, a game within a game within a game, and the open source nature of it leads to a lot of different servers with different mechanics and different jobs. Everything from deathmatch servers that pits Marines against xenomorph aliens in a crazy game of war. There are civilization servers where you start in different eras of time and build up your tribe to greatness. They have fully working spaceship servers where you fly around and explore the galaxy, and even servers where you build your own spaceship from scratch. Even dark medieval-based servers like LifeWeb, where it is extremely archaic in control, but more detailed than you can imagine or even want in a video game. But every server shares the same core principles of choosing a role, learning the deep mechanics behind the job, survival, and the ever-failing and chaotic situation of emergent gameplay all around you. There is no other game where the players steer the game itself. One crew member can change the entire fate of the entire station, and this is the magic of Space Station 13. I'm sure by now you all heard the stories of this game and the fantastical things that happen in it. I would rather tell you how symbiotic the different jobs are and how I've really helped or harmed the station. The botany department grows the vegetables in a normal shift and food for everybody, mainly the chef, that will use it to cook healthy food for the crew that'll uplift their mood and keep people healthy. If the botanist grows very good, hardy, and healthy plants, they will have more nutriment inside of them, which is a chemical in the game that heals you. This will keep the crew healthier, and this is all in a normal botany scenario. Now you have wild botanists out there, I call them, that will use their ability to mutate plants. They might have made their entire department into a weapons facility, growing acid tomatoes and different hallucinogenic mushrooms that they synthesize in the weapons. Maybe even mutating vegetables to turn into sentient life. Crazy stuff. And maybe they're even poisoning the food they send to the chef with vast amounts of LSD. You never know. One time I was learning botany and finally getting the hang of mutating plants. I made a bunch of blue space bananas, which are famous for teleporting you in random directions when slipping on the peels. I was tucked away in Tram Station's botany department, which feels like it's off the beaten path, and not really anywhere people wander to. The lawyer wandered up, became instant friends. He needed some blue space bananas for whatever personal objective or mission he had, and in return I had a friend for the rest of the round, and this is invaluable. Towards the end of the round, security cracked down on my department, arresting me for making these illicit mutated bananas. And while I was sitting in jail, my friend overheard that I was in there. and he teleported into jail with the blue space bananas I had grown and freed me. A good quartermaster is in charge of ordering supplies for the station, and even ordering stuff ahead of time, anticipating what they will need. But a crazy quartermaster will order a bunch of animals and snakes, and set up a petting zoo in the middle of the bar. Or he will barricade off Cargonia, seceding from the space station, causing a civil war. When Atmospherics is not keeping your air clean and well supplied, they are building fusion reactors to help power the station and create very rare gases as a byproduct. And without even you knowing they exist, Atmospherics department, who are they? They are creating items out of gases at different pressures and temperatures. Same thing with engineers. After the engines are all set, solars are connected, these guys will go around building custom rooms, hidden areas, and even whole new regions of the space station. And even the most well-seasoned veteran will still to this day go to the mining auxiliary base room and build a fantastic bar to send down to Lava Land for an after party when the station gets destroyed. This reminds me of a time when I was new to TG. I was on Icebox Station wandering by arrivals where you can walk down the stairs to the clothing room where people can buy clothes from the vending machines and dress up. This is a very comfy area of Icebox Station and is usually very secluded. As I'm standing there, a wall panel opens up and an engineer walks out and shows me how to use the hidden wall, and then he shows me what's inside. He outfitted an entirely hidden drug laboratory and told me to have fun, basically giving me the keys to the kingdom. I usually mainly play chemist, so I knew how to produce numerous amounts of poisons, drugs, and I even survived in here when the station went into disarray, and I eventually made healing medicines for myself mainly, but also some of the remaining crew. The virologist has just invented a virus that keeps you both young and lets you breathe in outer space, and even puts you into a regenerative coma when you get hurt, effectively making you semi-immortal. But the downside of this is now you have alopecia, and you crap your pants. But this is a small price to pay. And what about the captain? Well, they normally go crazy, spend the entire station's hard-earned budget from all the various successes of the different departments on a dingy escape shuttle that is basically a brothel casino, and the captain is now holding a kangaroo court inside this casino shuttle. Space Station 13 is amazing because no 2 rounds will ever be the same. Every time you play this game, it will be a different experience and a whole new gimmick. And this is all just the player agency we are speaking of. I haven't even mentioned the fact that the admins of the game have 20 years of tools and powers at their hands. They can create worlds in a flash of a second. They can inject random events and perform what the community calls admin bus, wild fantastic scenarios that basically you are just along for the ride. Admin bus is also a play on the words admin abuse, because some eager moderators go too far at times, spawning thousands of enemies, hundreds of traitors, and laughing as the crew cowers in a welded, locked, shut-off office, hiding for their lives. In a normal round with the traitor antagonist, you might have an average crew size of 60 people, and there might be 4 or 5 traitors. But this admin bus, they spawned 60 clown traitors, and just a handful of assistants to escape. You also have something called player gimmicks, where you the player can come up with your own role-playing idea or concept and play it out into the game. This could be anything you come up with, from movies you've seen to ideas that you can fabricate based off endgame mechanics you discovered. A few gimmicks I've seen as the janitor that cleans the hallways with space lube, or the self-harming clown that jumps through every glass table he can find. I've seen security guards play out the Big Lebowski and break my knees while I'm strapped to a chair. I've seen quartermasters steal everything from the entire station to sell it and supermax their budget, only to buy weapons and armor to completely block off their department. I've seen the chemists set up mega drug laboratories like Breaking Bad in the depths of maintenance, and even openly in medbay. I've seen live medical experiments with people having chainsaws attached to their limbs. Or back in the day before the code got too civilized, you've all heard the famous pizza feet story from the Seth video. To this day on Goon Station, you still can attach numerous odds and ends onto your limbs. Everything from tools to food, even a radio inside your chest. And my favorite recent gimmick that I'm resurrecting is the good old tooth pills. Surgeons can implant pills inside your teeth that you can activate even when your hands are handcuffed. This could be anything from super strength meth to cyanide to get rid of yourself so security cannot break your knees. I've been playing this game for 6 years now and I'm still learning new things, still mastering different secrets of the game, different job features that I'm still to this day in shock all over. Every time I learn something new. Some of the comfiest stuff in the game besides exploring and hanging out in your department or getting drunk at the bar, for me is learning new job skills. I purposely switch jobs up a lot to force myself to learn every task on the station, and that will truly make you the best Space Station 13 player out there. Firing up the game after a month or two of not playing and visiting my favorite department or playing one of my favorite jobs always brings a smile of nostalgia to myself. Now, for mentioning all the greatness of this game, the last 20 years of development is not perfect. It's open source like any game with servers. There are definitely 18 plus furry servers and weird vor servers. There's definitely questionable invite-only servers. We talked about the admins briefly before, but there's also negative side. In the history of the game, there has been power trips, extreme tyranny, and certain servers that are known for aggressive admins and moderators. All the 20 years of development, there have been numerous forks of the original code, and the game looks nothing like it did 20 years ago. The two main branches in my opinion are TG Codebase and Goon Station Codebase. In my opinion, TG is more in-depth jobs, roles, Goon Station is more artful, and better sprite work. But the once proud Goon Station server that was famed and visited by many people and popular content creators is now a shadow of its former self with extremely strict moderation, where you can't even use simple profanities. I understand some of the harsh words that no one should be using, but you can't even use the word bitch in Goon Station in the year 2023. I'll still visit there from time to time for some of the maps that I love and their ocean maps, but there has not been any real progressive development, in my opinion, I'm no expert, with their jobs or codebase. TG Codebase, on the other hand, has been going in a great direction in terms of development. New jobs have been produced in the year 2023, including the now solid Bitrunner, which is part of the cargo department, and you enter a Matrix-like virtual world and complete tasks. Very neat. Also, a lot of sprite updates have been happening in TG, and it's looking very clean and crisp. And I'm a fan of the new crates, and the great crate controversy of 2023, when the spriters introduced a whole new style of crates. People didn't like it for some reason. I think they're great. And if you like the sprite work of Goon, with the awesome jobs of TG, I would check out Monkey Station, which is awesome sprite work and a nice tile set that's very unique and still the familiar TG setups. These are just the two main branches, but there are many other server forks that are truly incredible. A few notable mentions are Ship Test and Void Crew style servers, where you literally design and build your own ship or station. The Colonial Marine servers and also TG Marines are awesome in-depth death matches where you gear up your loadouts depending on which of the two sides you joined. You go to a prep room, get briefed by the Marines, and you go down and fight the aliens. And the aliens are building their hive up, waiting for the invasion. This game took me quite some time to get into because it's very intimidating. But the best advice I could give you is just to hop in and try it out. Every game you play, you'll learn more and more. You'll figure out the basics, and once you're able to put a cigarette in your player's mouth and light it, then you will be comfortable playing the game, I promise. It is 100% free on Beyond.com. You have to make an account, download Beyond, and you can access the Space Station 13 hub. Check out my playlist of tutorials of this game. I have some good ones for Goon Station and now TG, and just some general guides on how you can get into this game. Check those out. The complexity of this game both keeps it a niche cult following and deters mega corporations and AAA studios from stealing the game and making it themselves. The reason this game is so good is because of how in-depth all the systems are, and how role-playing is incorporated into every weave of fabric in this game, how moderators and admins are essential for policing the game and keeping the balance, and no AAA studio could ever recreate this, even with an unlimited budget. Space Station 13 is a testament to open source gaming and game development. It's because of modders, coders, developers, and maintainers of the Codebases in Space Station 13 that this game is produced and so well made. It is also because of the player base and all the people that love this game, which makes the game play so well. Space Station 13 is a symbol of community gaming in the modern futuristic world that we live in, and it truly is the closest thing to Ready Player One that exists in the gaming sphere. I personally want to thank all the people I mentioned from every Space Station 13 server, from Goon Station to TG Station, and everything in between. You are all amazing. Keep this game running for the next 20 years. I want to commend Space Station 14 for their development, and someday maybe we can all move over there once Beyond is finished. But there is something nostalgic about Beyond that I love, and I will not be moving over until every system is ported over to Space Station 14 perfectly. I need my atmospherics. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up button. Share this with somebody who needs to see it, who you want to get into Space Station 13 or is curious about the game. Subscribe for more video game content, Space Station 13 videos, and more. And thank you for watching.